Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Wartrain here. If you're new, do me a favor, subscribe and click the notification bell down below so you can be notified of all of my new videos. And with that said, today's video I want to talk about the Super NT Mini by Analogue. This is a Super Nintendo clone console. So if you want to play your Super Nintendo games on a modern display and you want to have them in the highest resolution that you can get, this is your guy right here. This is an expensive console. It retails for $199.99, and unfortunately it does not come with any controllers. But as you can see on the front, you do have access to using your Super Nintendo controllers because you can just plug them in to the ports if you have one laying around, and if not, you can actually pick up one of these guys. This is an 8-bit DOE controller. It's an SN30 gamepad, they call it, and both these come in whatever Super Nintendo colors you want. You can get this is the Famicom, Super Famicom colors. You can also get the American colors, which are the gray and the purplish color, or they also have a black one and a clear one, which is really neat. And I don't know if they still have it, but they had a collector's edition one that was all white, which really looks sharp. That's like probably one of the hardest decisions is what color. I was limited because when I ordered them they were mostly sold out, so I wanted to do something different, so I got the Super Famicom colors. This system is definitely quality. You can feel it in the weight. It definitely has you know, a good little heft to it. It's definitely don't feel cheap, I can tell you that. And it's very small. It's probably a little bit bigger than an SNES Classic or an NES Classic. And you know, where you put the cartridges in, that has a nice little snap to it, and it definitely feels quality inside there. The pins look, you know, everything looks quality. The reset and power buttons all, you know, feel good for power buttons, and a reset button, nothing special. But you know, you have your HDMI port in the back, and you do have your power input. And the good thing about this is it actually does come with a power brick, so you're able to plug this thing in out of the box. I know a lot of new systems, they're not giving you these things these days. They think that everybody just has a million lying around, which is, you know, is probably true for the most part, but if you ever were somewhere and you didn't have one, you're pretty much screwed and you're not going to be able to play your system, which I would be pretty mad if I just spent $200 and didn't get one. But luckily for us, they throw one in there. So right here, I'll show you, they actually branded them, which is nice. A lot of these places don't do stuff like this. So it's just nice little touches like that that show you just the quality level that they're putting out with these systems. See, yeah, it's like the way the light hits it, you can see it. But so you can see it's on the actual cable and on the power brick. So you know, pretty cool. But if you're going to use your 8-bit DOE controller, you know, need one of these. I believe this came with it. This is just a plug into it, and you know, you just sync it up. It you know, definitely cool with using a wireless controller. You know, you do get you know, you don't really notice any lag on this, but I know with wireless controllers you can get some. So if you're somebody that wants to, you know, absolutely have none, then you can just plug it directly in with a Super Nintendo controller. But you know, the thing's quality. Is it worth it? That's up to you to decide. If you have a good Super Nintendo library, and you know, you're a huge fan of just playing the actual cartridges, and you want your games to look as good as they can, this is for you. And that's why I got it. I wanted to play my games at a crisp 1080p, have them looking great on my monitor, and be able to use my actual cartridges and have them pretty much work and not have to keep messing with the machine over and over and over because it's so old. But let's check out some gameplay, and you guys can decide if the Super NT Mini is something that you guys would be interested in picking up. Okay guys, so we're gonna check out the Super NT actual gameplay. So right here you got the title menus
We got Run Cartridge. You get Super Turrican and Super Turrican 2 on this. They come installed on this FPGA system. And I didn't mention that before, but FPGA is Field Programmable Gate Array, and that is the technology that runs this system that makes it possible to emulate the hardware. So we have these games built in, and then you can see you got the settings. You can do the resolution. You could change it. You want to do that before you start playing a game. It says right there it could cause your game to crash. So you have many different resolutions. These ones at 50 hertz are for European models. So unless you're in Europe, you don't want to mess with those. Or Australia, I believe, is a PAL region as well. But you wouldn't mess with that here in North America. Let's see. So you got scan lines. You can add all kinds of scan lines and change the depth, and but you can crop the picture, and you can also go in and change the fonts and the of this actual user interface, and you can change the colors of it. Instead of white, it could be purples or whatever you want. White's fine for me. I don't need to mess with that stuff too much. But what I do is go into advanced, and this is let's see, wait, not advanced. Let's see, system menu, not that one. Oh, right here you have LED options. You can change the color of the LED on your console. You could have it, be whatever color you want. I have mine in a rainbow option that just goes through them, but you can have the Super Famicom light up color, or the classic North American color for the power being on. But there's one here that's probably the most important in my opinion. Let's see, settings. Let's see, is it video? Yes, advanced mode. Wait, no. Okay, let's see. Well, it's in here somewhere. Let's see. See, the one I'm looking for, I already have it set up in here. It's actually so that you can fix transparencies. Like in LCDs, they use technology that worked with LCD screens that basically made things look transparent. And when you put the same parts of the game in a monitor display, it doesn't work correctly. So uh, this has a fix in there. That's why I want to find it in here and show it to you guys. Um, see. Well, it's not any of that stuff. Oh, well, you got system region in there too, so you can put PAL region or NTSC, and you have your startup options if you want to go right to the menu, or if you want to go right to running a cartridge. And let's see here. All right, so maybe it is advanced mode. But I am not seeing it. What's this buffer mode? Oh yeah, you can have zero delay, or you can have buffers. I just go with zero delay. I don't want any lag. Okay, extra features. Here we go. 64 sprite tiles. More sprites can be shown at a time, so that will reduce the flickering that you would get, say, like on NES when there was a lot of characters on screen, it would flicker. You get rid of that, or at least help it out. And here's the thing with the transparency issues, the pseudo hires blending. So you probably want to put that on unless you want to have flicker. Um, but that's up to you. So let's check out some games. Okay, so we're going to go right to we'll just jump to some Super Turrican 2, one of the built-in games. A really cool one, in my opinion. These Super Turrican games are great, lots of fun. Glad they put them on the system so that, you know, we have something to play right out of the box. Okay, skip the little story stuff. I just get to the gameplay. Alrighty, Super Turrican. These games are great. Alright, start.
Arm yourself, Red Top. Missile. Power up. Emergency. Smart bomb. Laser. Missile.
Oh, I'm dead. Yeah, I don't like those things. They're little tornado guys.
Power up.
I do like this though. I like driving this like thing here. I think it's pretty cool. It's cool you can go forward and backward too. You can jump off of the top of them. That's awesome.
Emergency. Power up. Red Top activated. Rebound activated.
It's like fun gameplay. Kind of like Super Contra or something.
Emergency. Emergency.
Okay, guys, so that was level 1. Let's see. So let me throw in a cartridge here. Let's see. All right. So right now we are jumping into Turtles in Time, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. This was an arcade game in the 90s. It was really good one, and this was a great port of the game, especially for a home console. This is before the time where home consoles got so powerful that they basically overtook the arcade, and that was the downfall of the arcade. Is at some point you could play games better at home than you could at the arcade, so that had a huge effect. So here's a game that was before that, so this port wasn't quite as good as the arcade, but you could see obviously where it was heading, and it was a few years later that the arcades got overtaken by home consoles, or at least parity with them. Alright, so... And the Ninja Turtles were huge back in the 90s. And sorry if you hear my dogs barking in the background. That's just something I cannot help. They love to bark at everything, and they are loud. Okay. And the cool thing about this game is throwing people at the screen. Definitely a fun feature of this game. And like I said, you can see that it wasn't soon after this that consoles overtook the arcade. In the next generation of consoles, we were there. Because, you know, pretty much not too long after this, you had stuff like Sega Dreamcast coming out. I mean, it was a few years later, but still, it wasn't very far. I'd say maybe 5 years after this came out, we were there. So that's not a long time. Because they were already porting a lot of arcade games on the home consoles at this point. I mean, you had Mortal Kombat games. Those were all arcade games that got ported. Killer Instinct. You know, it's just all the big ones they started to port over. But there was always some downgrade. But like I said, once that downgrade was gone, man, I'm getting tore up by him. Yeah, once that downgrade was gone, it was game over for arcades. They just, every time you walk by one, it was just kind of empty, which was a shame because they were great. I used to love going to the arcades. Oh my god, an enemy got hurt by that ball. I could swear it seemed like they never got hurt by him, but I guess there's a first for everything. This guy got to go. Come here. Man, he got the nunchucks on me. Oh my goodness. I died on the first board. But I don't have it on an easy difficulty. But that's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Great game. I just played this with my son recently and we beat it together. It was great. But let's see. Let's check out another game. Oh. Hold on. Let's see. Go to a different game so I can take the cartridge out without any issues. Okay. So right now I'm actually going to throw in a repro cart of The Fireman. This is a great game that we did not get in North America, unfortunately. It was something that they got in the PAL territory, Europe. Great game. It's quite a shame that we didn't get this game. That's why I wanted to get a reproduction of it, because I heard it was good and I really wanted to play it. And I'm glad I did. It was definitely worth it. You know, it's crazy how we get different games, and you know, different parts of the world they get different games. It's kind of a shame. Too bad we all didn't get, you know, all the games, and just, you know, it's just like Mother 3 for the Super Nintendo, which would be the third installment of Earthbound to us. It's a shame that we never got that, and you know, you could get it online and you know, play basically illegal ROM, borderline illegal. You can play a ROM of it with English translations. Translations, because we never got it here. They've never officially released it in the States, so there's no official English version of it. So it's kind of unfortunate. A lot of people wanted it, but good thing there is stuff like this, so we you know, and the internet, so we can do this kinds of stuff. As years back, you wouldn't have been able to do this stuff before the internet. You might have been able to play the game, but you would have had to play it in its native language. And hope to God you had somebody that knew that language next to you to tell you what they were saying. Because there's some games, like RPGs, I mean, you could never play them in another language if you didn't know it at all. Yeah, so this game, you just run around and you put out fires and you save people. It's pretty much just that, and it is a fun game. It's just satisfying to put out these fires. And I don't understand why we never got this game, because, you know, it's definitely fun. I mean, there's a simplicity to it, but it's not that easy. I remember the first time I played this first level, I died a couple times. Well, because I was learning what to do too, but now knowing what to do, it's not hard. Because you get this big stream, you get this little spray, and you use that for those little flames. And then you also get water bombs. That's kind of in an emergency or for like a boss. As at the end of this level, there's like a kind of like a heavy fire boss. And I always thought it was funny that your guy has an axe and he goes around with his axe putting out the fire. It's the weirdest thing. It's like, I don't get how that works. You think it would make the fire worse with the oxygen hitting it. But I like these sprite-based games. They're fun. You know, I really miss you know, just this overall style. You know, they recreate a lot of these games now, somewhat, but their sprite style usually just doesn't look the same. There's a couple games that do here and there, but usually they have like a modern retro look. It's weird. It's even hard to explain. But I'm sure some of you guys understand what I'm talking about. Like pixel art has just became a little different. I think because the techniques they use are different, because they're not doing this stuff on CRTs anymore. Like right here, I'm sure like this like fog effect probably looked different on CRTs. You probably didn't see the little squares for the pixels. And that was like that pseudo blending or whatever in the settings. You know, who knows? It might make that actually look a little better here, because that could have looked possibly worse. I'm trying to, yeah, I think they may be trying to use an effect here to kind of clean it up. because it may have looked even worse, and you know, you might have seen the pixels a lot more, because it definitely does kind of look like fog. They do an alright job. So we got a guy nearby that's wounded. That's what that beeping is. And there he is. He's like, no, I'm not okay. I'm in a burning building and my damn leg is hurting, man. Get me out of here. I don't want to die. Like, alright, we'll get you out of here. Axe guy's got your back. So stay clear when he's cutting down the fire with his axe that you don't get hit. It's nuts. Yeah, I wonder who thought of that. Let's give the firefighter, the computer AI one, we'll give him an axe. That way he's just swinging it around the whole time, putting out fire. It really don't make much sense. But maybe they do that so you're not like getting confused when you're shooting the water and stuff. Maybe they tried it and it just didn't look right. Alright, we got a wild robot on fire that's being a nut. Look, he's crazy. Oh, yeah, and they blow up when you spray them. As you save them, they explode. Go figure. Whoa! Don't want to blow that one up. See, put the rest of the fire out over here. Why not? Ooh, I'm running into it. Alright, so that gave me a water bomb. So now I have 3 of them. So evidently you start out with 2. But definitely going to need those for the fire boss. It's definitely going to help. Okay. Lots of talking. Oh, I got too close. Okay, now we're in the boiler room. Alright, so in this spot we gotta climb under the burning broken pipes. So there's a crouch button. Oh, walked into it. Whoops. So you could go that way too. I'm supposed to cover them, but here I am putting out these little flames over here. And you know, it's really cool with the headphones, hearing the sounds of the fire when you're putting it out. Pretty neat effect. Alright, there's a wall of flames ahead. Alright, so this I believe is the boss here, yep. So throw a water bomb at him. Whoop. Say it killed him already. Fire's done. So they let you know how you did. 99%, not bad. I think I walked past just a couple little spots of flames. But what a great game. And that is The Fireman. A game that we never got, but should have. Alright. So. Okay. So I just want to jump into another cool game real quick. Let's see here. Alien versus Predator. Beat 'em up. Pretty cool. Just like to want to see the Predator. Why not? I'm invisible. Hey. Whoa. Get over here. Man, this alien's tough. I like how there's different ones. That's so cool. Man, they're tough. Man, come here, you. Oh, it's a little one. Yeah, I forgot about that slide move. It definitely comes in handy. Come here. Ooh. So this was an Activision game. Yeah, I just thought this would be a cool game to see real quick. Yeah, pretty repetitive, but you know, hey, it's Alien and Predator, so it's definitely cool in my book. Alright, so I'm gonna take that out and we will check out a Mario game quick. Let's see. Okay, usually when you see Mario games, it's always Super Mario World. It's a great game. I have it right here. But I'm actually going to throw in Super Mario All-Stars. Just a really great game as well, and it doesn't get talked about a lot. It's got, you know, all the original Mario games on it. And it has the Lost Levels, which was actually the real Mario Brothers 2. And then you have Super Mario 2 that we got. But yeah, let's check out the Lost Levels. Why not? You know, they thought it was going to be too hard of a game, and it had the same art style as the first one. So they decided not to go with it. So I don't want the poison mushroom, that's for sure. And I died right away. Yeah, I think it's so cool that we got Doki Doki Panic, and you know, they got this. I mean, kind of good for us. The Doki Doki Panic game that they turned into Super Mario 2, I believe is a great game. I really liked it as a kid. I still like it, and it's a good copy on here. And this game is hard. Can I make it jump up? Up. There we go. That's what I wanted. I mean, it's cool what they did with this game, and made it, dang it, and made it 16-bit. But they were probably right, in a way, by not bringing this over here, because it would be so hard. But you still can't go back. Oh! 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 It is hard. And that's the first board. Let's see here. Quit. So yeah, that game's still hard, but we got you know, this Super Mario 2, which I think is a great game. I've always enjoyed this. This is where we got Shy Guy, Birdo. I wish they used Mouser more as a character, because I always thought Mouser was really cool. He's definitely underutilized. You know, and Wart was a really weird character to be a main boss, and we didn't get him again. That was it. Yeah, like I said, sorry about my dogs. They just bark at everything. If you hear them. They don't give you much time in there. Well, the thing is, if you get so many cherries, then you get a little heart that floats up. And one thing we did get out of this game is the mechanic to pick them up. That was never a thing before this game. And even though this wasn't supposed to be the game that, the game that we got. Oh, come on. Oh, I want to get that heart. I didn't get it. Yeah, even though we didn't get the game, or even though we got this game, we got the mechanics later. Like in Super Mario Brothers, yeah, Super Mario Brothers 3, we were able to pick up turtle shells and stuff. Something we weren't able to do before. Unless they had already kind of planned that, I don't know, but there's definitely a thing with this game and then after. I always have a hard time with this bomb drop. Just timing that right. Usually blow myself up. Whoa. I don't want that. So that takes you to Birdo. And you can finish the stage. But I really like how they changed these games' graphics and made it 16-bit. I mean, they look great. Yeah, these games look great on here. They're so colorful. You know, they definitely have way more colors than on the NES, being on here. This game, though, Super Mario 2, was a really nice-looking game, in my opinion. Like, all the Marios, well, the first one was a little bland, but pretty much this one and beyond, all the Marios had tons of colors. The first one was just, it was early on in the hardware's life. Yeah, the hardware was new, so I mean, they were still learning about it. I mean, it was just amazing at the time that Mario was a side-scroller. That was a brand new thing then. So, we'll quick jump into Mario 3. Speaking of that, it's a great game. Yeah, we'll play this first world. And these first worlds always told you a lot about a game in Mario. And the cool thing about this Mario was well, I guess you were able to do it in 2, but that was kind of a different creation. This was the first true Mario where you could go backwards. I mean, Doki Doki Panic, let's face it, that was really what Super Mario Brothers 2 was, until they reskinned it. So, but that game had already kind of been established. But this is truly what this game was intended to be. Oh, that was bad. Oh! Huh, I like how that one goes backwards. Maybe they're just showing you that you can run backwards. I bet you that was the whole purpose of that. Because in the first Mario, they had the Goomba right there at the beginning, which shows you that, hey, you can jump on enemies. Maybe this one has the mushroom go backwards. Wow. Has the mushroom go backwards to tell you, hey, that you can run backwards to get things. But I'm going to try that one more time. I want to look at that mushroom thing again. I never thought of it like that. But same mechanic, teaches you can jump on them. Teaches you that you get coins like that. And, oh, now it went that way. Huh, that's very odd. Just like those coins going up was kind of like, hey, you can go up here. It was almost like showing you that. I lost it again. Oh well. Alright, so that was Super Mario Brothers 3. Okay. And real quick, last but not least, let me throw this game in just because it deserves some attention, because it is still one of the greatest games ever made. And it's not this. Let's see. It is actually this one. Watch it and put it in all the way. There it is. Had to push it a little harder. Okay, here we go. This, Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past, one of the greatest games ever created. Just set the stage for all the Legend of Zelda games from this point and beyond to this day. It's just a great game. Alright. It's such a great game. I mean, it just looks so good. The music is great. And I tell you what, it looks really good on this system. I mean, just look at it. This playing in 1080p just looks awesome. Hey, give me the lamb. I mean, just an awesome beginning to a game. It sets the stage, the rain, it's dark, there's lightning. Yeah, you don't know what's going on exactly. Link's got pink hair. He got all busted up. And now he's gonna give me the sword. Thanks, Uncle. I mean, just a great Zelda game. I could play this anytime. It's just so much fun. But you know, this music, it just sets the stage for this game. Especially then, actually the music was going to be even grander, but they couldn't fit all of this stuff on, you know, the cartridge and run it. But this was actually intended to have a much bigger soundtrack. But that's the game, guys. It is a great one. So we're gonna wrap this video up.
All right, guys, so now you've seen the Super NT by Analog, which is the FPGA system, a field programmable gate array, which is a complete mouthful. You've seen this system, you see what this technology can do by emulating these games, or emulating the hardware, I mean, at almost 100% accuracy. It's so close. You're doing it on a modern displays at the highest resolutions you can get for these games, for now anyway. They are pricey, but to the right people, they're definitely worth it. You're not dealing with screen tearing and sound problems and all kinds of other problems that go along with these clone consoles that emulate the software. Like the Retrons and all this stuff. You do get problems with those. So you're paying for quality. This thing definitely has a quality build. Like I said before, it's pretty much like the Ferrari of Super Nintendos. So to me, it's worth it because I want to play these games and have them look right. I want the colors to be right because I played these games a lot as a kid, and I want them to look as good to me now as they did to me then. Because there was some great games on the Super Nintendo. Had an awesome library, and to me, I got a lot of nostalgia for it. Nintendo, I've been playing their games since the NES. Huge fan of them to this day. They make great systems and great first-party games, and but let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Are you guys interested in these analog systems? Do you think they're way overpriced, or do you think they're great and maybe already own one, or you're looking into possibly getting one in the future? But do me a favor, please subscribe right here, hit the button, and click up here to check out some of my new videos, and maybe something you're interested in, or click over that way for maybe another video. But that's the video, guys. I appreciate you watching. I'm the War Train, and I'm out. Have a good one.